ye kwa homa so nipa owa homa so Jonathan Otchere wono ye cheche ni ewo KNUST wo political analyst ye ro Otchere na pe doctor memo wa cha na pe
ya me ba me so
doctor mpom to say
na me adumo na one na me ne ka
me de na ya brefo.
Oh no yeah okay I knew the voice but na ejina wi ne kaka
enye doctor doctor ye de enura eje ebo eje enye nru nsi ye de but yate say edin ba ko apia his excellency na omko ka kire no vice president aka kire ne say Dr. Matthew Opoku Pempe wonya na woni ne betu franka no na Ghana for be omadoma omato ama almost 7 December 2024 na minim your first reaction when you heard it.
Usamianga sana atamwe makasa mu bebre kra na be 18 days na premaye o sasa mwe anyame nwanwa ne say utimu say the team of Dr. Bawumia the team of Dr. NAPO omayi jumapa cause utimu say from the word go when the near brace that particular position into almost 30 on my agenda no clearly far better than all the other candidates are now. Agenda they are more expected than that. Na any one to me say agenda no muno. What you say post near the na ebemu. What you say oma bopo with them say no. This is the position that we should clamor for. I mean to know a banner no enya no. But as to other questions, they say they are ability to this, ability to that, and there are questions number.
Well, initially, a DB PPA and be crash suggested Sankayenfa or Bar Sebeya, NDC, you running metal your bar, Nanka no bet me a boa. A dinner chinino, a cosini pamino, the Ashanti factor. In fact, all the names that came out, majority or almost all, were within the Ashanti region. Does it really matter where the person comes from?
It matters. In the sense that share any ankasa your crew your politics near there now. You cannot take tribal affiliation from it. You cannot take tribal affiliation from it. And associations with our women, you cannot take that in away. And Tokobia necessarily at this point in time, no, we should not be MPP one in terms of the goodwill, no, and come the goodwill is not there. And you know, I was so factor in one. At this point in time, we should go into analytics. I'll be on the best to about here. 22% of the Asante votes are apathetic against the very party. That is a huge number. And you know, how do you re-energize the grassroots? How do we pacify this particular apathetic voters? And so you need to factor in all these, you have to consider all these factors before you take the final decision. And you know, the strong support base of the party in the Asante region. I've listened to Professor Cobbins quite a few times. We sometimes agree on most of the issues. From the word go, MPP shot itself in the foot by narrowing the search to Asante region. In Nabanasana, what alienated the other regions? As if said, they don't matter when it comes to those high-profile positions within the party. So that one was very unstrategic. Secondly, whether you like it or not, is it the case that young will be a free Asante region? And I say it doesn't matter at all whether the person. I think it's almost factors, you know. And don't forget to say, opening the fan Alan, so to thank Manchua, a Dijuma. I want to watching for free MPP. And they echo on Onakake. Kedan Susono is also braving waves with respect to the youth. Into the dynamics necessary. So as to what I said, it was not necessary, I think it is necessary. It is necessary that they did that. But processes may lead to that. So by far, no, alienating other regions, you know, from the past.
Meaning say as you were saying, no, info analytic the betu just say as a Ashanti region, no, people within the party no cry one shot na abato na kwaye bibi o. Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia kwa Asante region. Woko walk kakra any ade. In fact, any bidi nkomo. What they were saying was what ebinom susu, including you for analytic say Asante region party na ase o mabemabu any ade. It didn't reflect when they went there. Do you agree with those saying that?
Oh. Alan Kra or ye or
Yes.
So you don't expect a party that is in government. You cannot doubt their ability to organize. They have the resources to do so. But as to whether that will reflect in the national elections, only time will tell.
Let's assess the running mate.
You don't doubt to say they are going to get people, following Dr. Bawumia in and out. They are going to have to.
Yeah, assess running mate. The choice of Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia Didi Kain.
Yeah. Oh no.
As a person.
At this point in time, Dr. Bawumia is the president. The president is ranked around 37% approval rating. Global Info Analyst, 60% of Ghanaians think that the woes of the economy should be blamed on Dr. Bawumia. From the word go, he has a baggage on his head. Two, as a candidate, what can be brave before 2016 elections, post 2016 elections in government. Now, you see, I know, personally, your character, everything is measured according to the things that you said and the things that you have done. What the two, I didn't mean to say, does he come up on top? I doubt. 3, look at the state of the economy now. You cannot, it's not the make and the driver analysis. You are carrying the baggage of the entire party in government onto your head, of which you are a party. Now, in the same way, if Alan had been the flag bearer, he is also going to face the same challenges. But of course, the Baka said, minister, and Bakuni advice, it takes more responsibility than that of the minister. Dr. Bawumia himself is suffering from what? Credibility crisis, of which he needed someone a bit to me, our weakness now put us a piano, a swati. 4, Dr. Bawumia, we are Northern. And even from the Northern extract, your tribe is in a minority. You cannot take away tribal affiliations from politics. When you do tribalism, that one is dirty politics. But people vote just by virtue of what the tribal affiliation. They don't have any other constraint. 5th, the 5th point is that Dr. Bawumia, you are Muslim. Now your competitor is a Christian. And we know that 71% and over of the population are Christian-dominated offices. So, and also see a deficiency at the mount, because there are some Muslims who will vote against him. There are some Christians who will vote for him. But in terms of the numbers, that is what it is. Thirdly, your tribe does not bring enough numbers. So these are the deficiencies that you have. Show up that deficiency. Then you go for Dr. NAPO. As to whether Dr. NAPO can bridge the Christian, when he will be trustworthy enough for that Christian fraternity to work on behalf of the party, well, only time will also tell. And Dr. Bawumia himself, who set the demon and the character, the track record, at this point in time, it is a very difficult task to be a flag bearer of the NPP.
So, what area? Then, with all the assessment, how they assess Dr. Bawumia, then one will ask if in the running mate, Akwaye Matthew Opoku Prempa, does he feel this gaps that were created? No, does he really feel that gap? Mama Maunya Sudamin Kwahoma Sudamine, NDC regional chairman Augustus Andrews, Nanakwesi Ewa Homaso. From Asante region, they've chosen Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe. Chairman Martin.
4x4.
Chairman, what to make?
Hey.
Chairman, what to make? Hello, Chairman. Yeah, say yes, Abeka Chairman. You remember back to Yera Otchere eho. So I was asking, say, what should loopholes no? Loopholes no, does Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, if not all, feel some of it now?
Oh, some of it you're best feeling. One, the stronghold of the party is that about that. In somebody from that country has the whole failure, the number deficiency. You are trying to the number deficiency. Social voter apartment and honor. Then it means that you have to get someone who is a grassroots person, grassroots for the penalty. Or the number one for another. In terms of the Muslim Christian fraternity, as to whether NAPO is someone whom the Christian fraternity can trust, I don't mean because I've not seen him in that light. Just that he's a Christian, but I've not seen him. Now, I'm not saying so yourself, but there must be a good reason why Professor Onua Edin floated among the list and not about. And me, my cousin, the interested, Dr. NAPO has been the preferred candidate of Dr. Bawumia. Other than that, Onua's name wouldn't have come into the fray. The son said, Onua Otchere, and thereby the end of why the Abua party, which of the grassroots nominee or a leading member of the party. And that must be a certain message that was sent, to test the waters. And it tells you that Dr. NAPO has not been the preferred candidate. But of course, this is politics and it's about interest. Who say you have a running mate, you post the Bria and what's other.
From the beginning. I can tell you emphatically, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh was Dr. Bawumia's choice from beginning, before he even became the flag bearer of the NPP. But for other reasons, some of them pennyful within the party felt there were a few things that might worry until they threw in other names for him to consider.
Okay. I'm not my name is MPP now. I have that kind of thing. But the reason why I would dispute that particular position, I know
right.
That political expediency. I've heard Miracle say by 4th of November, he knew who was going to be his running mate.
Yes.
The question is, why the delay? This month into major elections, you don't have a running mate, a party in government. Is Dr. Bawumia telling us to say the running mate factor is important, especially when you look at your own deficiencies, how you are bringing on board, and you are telling me that 6 months is not too late. No, it is. A party in government, it is. You could see the interest in a dorsal, the jockeying and the struggling for the position per dorsal. And if indeed something of that sort, the second reason is that Matthew Opoku Prempeh, onye novice of politics, and MPP politics, it's a stalwart, it's a bulwark within the party in terms of MPP politics. And then say, oh, nipa way, and then we need to say, we na. Also, we in Tamka. Thirdly, there are so many controversies surrounding him. On any one to me, support base, no matter what. And a brave man will chance obey no more solving internal problems. All these factors you need to consider that. So, because the band is there, now a check solve it before they go for the elections. Remember, they come from the same region. And this is the stronghold of the party. It is going to affect the chances of the party. The dynamics are not the same. There is a certain Alan in the picture. He is going to take a certain number from the party. You cannot throw that equation away. It is important. There's a among the youth.
Well,
these are floating voters. And you see, Makase, maybe this is not part of the question you have asked. Dr. NAPO may be overwhelmingly popular within them. What about that?
What about?
Don't forget, outside the party, there are unique floating voters. You need the undecided. You need the neutral. You need the non-aligned. The two parties, significantly, almost support this can never win outside the election. That is the fact. So you need these millions of people all sharing the vote across the board to the extent they say, move it to me, Bakube Yini and Abakube. Does Dr. NAPO present that efficiently as a partner to Dr. Bawumia? That's a question that we must provide answers to.
Did you think?
Abra, Oyi, and someone, one of my sister, your friends, enjoy reporter or something like that, but about this timetable. Do so affect NDC, MPP, CPP, everybody. So at that time,
but is that alone that particular issue a criteria? And non quite to me, it decided he's been there as a minister of education. He's been there as a minister of energy. Then, I mean, for some time before this conversation came in.
Yeah. Oh, of course, instead he's paid his dues within the party, within the government. You can't throw that in a way. But you see, politics is not only about somebody being resourceful. There are petty things that put certain people off. Temperament, character, exercising proper discretion when it comes to your relation with the public. And you're going to do unto any mobile. And I'm not obliged to come and vote for you. I can vote for you, but I'm not obliged to come and vote for you. So you must always present yourself in such a way that you gain that mass acceptability. So let me question is do you think Dr. NAPO represented a firm and a strong running mate candidate? I'll bet you transcend the party itself now. And Anna Medin and Moabi by say, who shake Kennedy Japan? Abra contest here about Bawumia. The two of them, Kennedy had better message than Dr. Bawumia, but he lost because people don't really trust him. Why? Because of his past pronouncements and utterances. That's the more reason why I'm saying another player was allegedly reported to have said that Kennedy is not the president here. But so what did you say? What should be who when the was to me a gun for that particular position? Then you have to be very measured in the way and manner you conduct yourself.
But somebody like Kennedy Akopreko, Bisubeka said that is not enough. Why? Because Kennedy has temperament. In fact, he probably might be worse than NAPO. The other thing is that His Excellency Nanado himself, Ubetimi the NAPO should be out to turn Nanado the Anamwa.
Yeah. But when we say the difference between those temperaments, as I said, it be near them, but it didn't find a refined way of insulting. But they will not openly say Pasiana or study. But Kwayomba Fasomba cancer on Obu will do it. And temperament, Sanya Wokano. There are differences. That of Ira Kennedy, overboard.
But although he had that temperament, he was able to garner votes even outside the party. You could tell, say, after I joining Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia campaign in Asante region, no, people started, a lot of buzz all over social media. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. What we say, Mr. Sumaya, my analysis. What the analysis that I did was that, okay, let's just say I'm Kennedy, and I know there's a more likelihood that the MPP will lose the election. Okay, so if I know that, now, I wouldn't want to be sitting on the bench or on the fence, say, I'm sure motion, I know Makako lose it, so that I will come in. No, he's hedging his future by making them know, say, Mama Tinabi, some Koko Lucia Moncafe, he didn't come on board. Secondly, what's going to be war back? Someone who's not no war back, he will still need the support base of the president, the vice president, and all other cohorts. Politics is about numbers and interest. Into the meaning, we may say a strategy and a doctrine. But on the other side, no,
I was even referring to the temperament. Now we used to say because maybe NAPO's temperament in floating voters might not be happy with him. And I was comparing Kennedy Japan's temperament to NAPO's own. Why still some people outside the party even felt say he was the best choice, although he has that temperament.
It was a message. And two,
all right,
the apathy against the current government, the leaders, the apathy against the leaders. And the message no the call for bonus not solid. They are no message.
As an analyst, if you compare Jane Nano Pokwajimai and then Matthew Opoku Prempah, who do you think is appealing to the public outside their party?
Of course. But I think that it is more professional than
right.
One, the gender factor will be something that to work for her. Two, in terms of the public utterance and relation, instead of BPR over to for the debate piano. Three, in terms of politics, finding herself in the education ministry, there was not a single case of corruption of all this stuff. Even from being a vice chancellor, it's not been in any kind of controversy. With all these characteristics, she will attract more of the floating voters. Finally, on the same issue, having come from the academia, for the first time, you see that academia are identifying themselves because they be an like we solve problems.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Academia in which sense, teacher me as a teacher and answer them because then Matthew is also professional. He's also an academia. Which is which?
Dentist, so he has a profession. But in terms of academia, being in the academic fraternity, publishing, presenting papers, identifying yourself, you see, with the elite of the topmost of education, which is the university. And I'm interested. Most often than not, politicians will say a theory. Secondly, normally and say they are na bambaso and almost take decisions. And then you need some academia in the government fraternity to be able to check some of these things. Sometimes you will say government will not necessarily have research from the academia of war, feed into policy direction. With all these characteristics, I think she comes. I said the same.
So indirectly, the choice of Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia wrong. Let me be blunt.
I would have preferred Otchere Mensah.
Right. But now I see Debbie, you still want to ask your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Doc, from where you sit as a political science lecturer,
Okay,
and the analysis I why so far this morning, you are confirming saying, I mean, Dr. Bawumia ne running mate near wrong. Nananka, you preferred Otchere Mensah Bonsu. What would be the consequences in the upcoming result from the choice
what
of
would be the
the running
consequences?
mate?
I mean, he's only asking if MPP will be able to break the 8.
Oh, based upon the factors, but based upon the factors that ma enumerated and pay in terms of economic challenges, in terms of track record of the presidential candidate, and you are carrying the baggage of the president himself. And you are virtually running away from the economy. I mean, if you look at the consequences of taxes, Nansia, good of force, Kabibi said, they are bringing some consumption tax bills, they are complaining virtually everywhere. The economy, the ground, the goodwill of the MPP as they had in 2016, that goodwill is no longer there. So the breaking the age is an arduous task. I have asked MPP people, so what do you think are your chances? Or say 50-50. Now, who can say 50-50? It means you are not conscious. Mr. Safumafu is reported to have said that the elections will be difficult. For instance, national organizer is reported to have said so. In our part of the world, opposition don't win elections. It's the government that loses. Because one way or the other, and a pay crampono, listening to or watching one sister station, Dr. Kopo is alleging, for example, that the momentum seems to be swinging towards the end. So that is a difficult thing. But he said it is still not yet, a done deal. They can still do something. But do you really scientifically see a change in a not too distant future, in some few months to come? Go to the market and test the ground, and you will see in reality performing it.
Mama now say anapai so when your brain now only atwetwe nkomo. That's pa.
Onua 95.1 FM. Yeah, Junimo.